Hi, this is Liz Koch, and you're about to watch a video on unraveling psoas using a chair. Here I am in Greece on the island of Santorini, and I'm using a prop, a very simple wood chair, flat bottom, to explore the primitive C shape, the spine, and the intimate tissue that grows out of the spine called the psoas. I've worked with the psoas for about 30 years, and I like the idea of unraveling this tissue because it's a very primitive, very primal part of your survival response. It's also part of your capacity to thrive and blossom and become fully who you are. So when we work on the chair, what the intention is to explore gravity and weight, and to give this psoas an opportunity to get out of its normal behavior, which is in our culture sitting on a chair in a different way, to work on a computer or at a desk or to sit in a car, and start to explore the tissue from a different relationship with gravity. Just as children play on chairs and we tell them to stop, I'm intentionally exploring what it is to play with gravity and feel the deep connection to my own skeletal core, muscular core, but even beyond that, to the fluidity within the tissue. The psoas is part of the central nervous system. It is a messenger of the central nervous system, and I see it as an organ of perception. It's the filet mignon. So it's juicy, it's supple, it's delicious. And it's often in need of hydration. Not hydration simply by drinking water, but through movement. And this is a way of moving tissue that is just delicious. So the primary intention here is pleasure. And I'm exploring movement that brings tremendous sense of delicious opening, release, movement, nourishment. And I'm using weight as my connection to the earth, through the hands, through the pelvis, through the chair. And tiny undulations, wave motion, and breath. Long exhales. That allows this wild tissue to express itself in 360 degrees. The psoas moves down through the leg and out through the foot, but it also expresses itself up through the heart, through the throat, through the head. And so self-expression is a big part of the emotional aspect of the psoas. Self-actualization and speaking your truth, and the capacity to really make sound, to be seen. And I work in this way. I work both sides, because although we're bilateral, we're not symmetrical, and so there's a very different expression on both sides of the organism, and I want to explore that. Notice how this isn't really stretching. I mean, we can do explorations to stretch the psoas, but this is not a psoas stretch. I'm not looking to pull on the tissue, I'm simply softening. And the movement and the breath is hydrating. And the expression isn't choreographed. I have no intention except to follow my own pleasure, my own sense of weight. It's going to look different each time I explore. I'm not really aware of how I look. I'm exploring what is the sensation deep inside my own core. And I'm uninhibiting. I'm attempting to not curtail the expression, but to feel it go through my feet, to go through my hands, to come all the way from the core out to the extremities. So there's no right way to do this. It's a play. It's fun. It's spontaneous. Sometimes the movement speeds up. Sometimes it slows down. But I encourage you to try this. You can try this at home with any family chair you might have. You can put music on and listen to sound. But I also like to work without music to let the sound and vibration within my own system be the impulse for the movement. It's a very delicious sensation. I encourage everyone to try this. It's just a wonderfully nourishing, hydrating, relaxing expression. So fun, so deep. Frees up the spine and all the neurology, all the nerves that emerge out of the spine, both through the psoas tissue, all around it, that goes to all the organs and muscles and bones. It's this fabulous, fabulous way of hydrating the spine. And you'll find a sense of nourishment. Resistance is a way of messaging both towards gravity, towards the chair, the ground, but also allowing something to come back into the system. So it's like a conversation from my deepest core of myself out to the extremity of containment, whether it be the chair or the floor, and back in. So I do use containment. So you'll see my hand is on my knee, my arm is on the chair, my feet are connected to the ground, my butt is sitting on the chair. There's a way in which I use it so I'm not flailing. There's a containment to the movement, and there's a relationship from core to extremities. From the deepest parts of my spine. These little tiny movements hydrate the spine. It's so important because we sit so statically so much of the time that hydrating the spine, the filet mignon, is essential for health and vitality. And I might go through the whole thing again. So try it. I think you'll enjoy the expression of your psoas in its fullness. Just simply play. Let pleasure be the guide and the teacher. There's no agenda. There's no right way. Each time you return, it's going to feel differently. And you'll be surprised at what shows up. New places of movement. Suppleness. I like going through it more than once because the what we call layering, or the return to it again, will often elicit a different rhythm, a different expression, coming back. All of a sudden, something new will appear, something innovative, something extra delicious. Have fun.